This young Italian girl just blew my mind because on her first jump, she hit 13.20 meters, already the best in her league for her age. But she wasn't satisfied. On her next attempt, she did something unexpected. She jumped 14.8 meters, beating her previous record and setting a new personal best for the second time in the event. This athletic kid was just relaxing in the hot tub with his homie, but then he spotted a cold plunge nearby. Right away, they knew what had to be done. His buddy started hyping him up, and what he did next left everyone stunned.
Come on, it's natural, it's natural. I got it, you got it, I got it, come on, come on. You got it, you got it.
The coach made huge mistake by keeping this kid on the bench for too long, because when the coach finally gave him the chance, he scored one of the fastest goals in rugby history. But the way he celebrated broke the internet. This little girl was excited to see her brother after his handball training and couldn't wait to hug him. As he walked toward her, she opened her arms wide, ready for a big embrace. But then he did something unexpected that shows siblings' love. This guy thought he'd be clever and go viral by pretending to hit a stranger with a stick while recording it. But this became one of the biggest mistakes he ever made, even though he did blow up online with over 10 million views. But at the end, he received an unexpected surprise. This kid's friends bet him that if he jumped on the field and came back without getting caught, he would get $500. So he didn't think twice, he jumped onto the soccer pitch and started sprinting around. But he had to rush back immediately because security spotted him and began chasing him. However, things took a turn when he tried jumping back into the stands. But one of the guards caught his leg and grabbed his leg. Even though people in the crowd tried to pull him up, more security arrived. And they weren't giving up soon. They knew he could receive a lifetime ban for what he did. But when someone in the crowd said this,
Let go lunch.
Everyone let the boy go, and the guards unfortunately carried the kid away, giving him a lifetime ban. After this girl received a 10-second penalty for taking an illegal shortcut during a race, viewers quickly noticed something felt wrong. You see, many people believed the referee didn't treat her fairly and kept her waiting much longer than 10 seconds, which completely ruined her progress. And they might be right, because if you count it yourself, you'll see it was actually closer to 15 seconds rather than 10. This is why you should never drink too much Red Bull, because when this little guy popped up to a skateboarding contest for the first time, even the commentators in the crowd were stressed about his safety. But the moment he started showing, the adrenaline kicked in, and he did this.
Oh, well, if anybody can unseat him, it's this young man right here. Oh my goodness!
This little guy ended up turning his whole team into fans. With both teams tied and only 3 seconds left on the clock, he didn't hesitate to pull off an insane move that turned everyone speechless. This young Italian athlete jumped an impressive 13.47 meters on her first attempt in the triple jump. She's one of the best in her age group, fighting for first place and aiming to break the record. But despite the strong start, she wasn't satisfied. She wanted even more. So on her second and final attempt, she pushed herself again and reached 13.51 meters, 4 centimeters farther, setting a new personal best for the second time in the event. This little guy is purposely ruining his looks by training only one side of his body. But why would he do that? At first glance, you might assume his right arm is paralyzed, that he has to rely on his left side. But the real reason is actually much more personal. After he went viral across social media, he felt he needed to explain himself. So he posted this.
People no longer question when I park in the handicapped parking spot.
This kid made a fatal mistake running onto the field during a soccer match because he somehow dodged security, leapt over the fence, and even slipped right through a guard's hands. But just when it looked like he was about to pull off the perfect escape, a random fan in the crowd grabbed him by the hoodie and gave him away. The crowd tried defending him, but it was too late. He got hit with a lifetime ban and a massive fine. This is exactly why boys and girls should never fight. This guy ended up in one of the toughest battles of his life, but then he pulled an unexpected move that made the girl finally let him win. Do you think this should even be allowed? This is proof why you don't even know your own strength. Because while this guy was bench pressing, he suddenly collapsed mid-set and blacked out completely. But that's when his spotter's adrenaline kicked in. He grabbed the bar and somehow held the entire weight on his own to keep his friend from being crushed. But as if that wasn't impressive enough, he even tried to rack the bar, practically curling his friend's entire bench press. This photographer almost lost his job because of what he did. When the match ball rolled out of play, he picked it up and started showing off his football skills. But when the player came over to get the ball, he wasn't impressed, and what the player did next left the photographer absolutely stunned. These boys were trying to get their basketball down after it got stuck on the rim, unable to reach it with their jumps. Just when it seemed hopeless, one boy came up with a genius idea. He took off his shoe to knock it down, but what happened next shocked everyone. This girl nearly made a fatal mistake when her frisbee went flying straight at her coach because she was supposed to land it inside of that small box. But her aim went completely off and it headed right for his head. But just when it looked like she was in serious trouble, the coach showed exactly why he's the coach. After spending an entire year training hard and sticking to a strict diet, this bodybuilder finally let himself enjoy a cheat meal, and you can instantly tell it was the happiest moment of his life. This guy spent a year and a half filming this video while traveling the world. And while most people would believe that the end will show somebody like his girlfriend, but the ending is nothing like what you'd imagine. You can also see how his fashion style changes over time, proving how long this journey took. And when the last person appears, it's his mother, a reveal that says everything about how much he loves her. This guy made a fatal mistake by sharing his strange training routine, because people online started joking he was training to be a professional upstairs neighbor. But he didn't let the joke slide. Instead, he doubled down, trained harder than ever, and ended up proving everyone wrong by taking home the gold. This is proof that having large muscles doesn't always equal real strength. Because when these bodybuilders tried to test how strong they were compared to this construction worker, things didn't go as planned. At first, they started the challenge by shoulder pressing a single cement bag over their heads. The bodybuilders easily managed to do it, but when the construction worker attempted the same thing, he decided to have some fun with it. But then they wanted to make things a little harder. The new goal was to pick up 4 cement blocks at the same time and hold them for a few seconds. The first bodybuilder couldn't even hold 3 cement bags, let alone 4. The second one did manage to lift all 4, but holding them was way too challenging for him. But then it was the construction worker's turn, and he made them realize exactly why size isn't always the best indicator of strength. This kid made a fatal mistake when he threw a balloon during a football match, because this lady accidentally pushed it onto the field, and it rolled straight into the play. But no one expected the trouble it would cause. The balloon interrupted the game, and when the goalkeeper tried to move it, he couldn't, because the moment was too tense. Should this kid be banned? This kid made a fatal mistake when he dropped the rugby in front of the player, because when this famous rugby player walked by the stands, he purposely dropped his ball in front of him. But when the player picked it up and handed it back, he pulled out a marker for an autograph. If you look closely, his ball is already filled with signatures, proof his trick is working. This kid made a fatal mistake when he jumped into this pool, because the current is so strong. If you stop swimming, it feels like the water could drown you. You can literally see the stream tearing through the pool, forcing swimmers to push forward as if their life depends on it. But here's the twist. It's not dangerous at all. It's actually engineered to help professional swimmers build crazy strength and perfect their technique. This dad made a terrible mistake when he challenged his son, because while training for the boys' football match, he got cocky and dared him to push him through the wall. But the kid took it way too far, leaving his dad instantly humiliated and in pain.
Go! Power, power, power! Go!
This kid made the biggest mistake by sprinting onto the field during a football match. He somehow dodged security, leapt over the fence, and even slipped right through a guard's hands just to fulfill his dream of hugging his favorite player. But in the end, he got a lifetime ban and a huge fine. This is what happens when someone who never played a baseball in their life tries to face a ball-throwing machine at 100 miles per hour.
Have a good eye on the ball. Don't let go of the bat.
The internet accused this man of cheating because every time he hits a golf ball, it explodes with a sound so loud it shocks everyone around him.
Man, respect the horse!
But the real reason is actually genius. If you look closely, you'll see something taped to the ball, a tiny explosive charge that makes that insane bang on impact. Now the real question is, could you recreate that sound? This dad really messed up bad, because after spending years pushing his son to be stronger, faster, and tougher, he finally decided to fight him. At first, he thought it'd just be a practice match, but he had no idea the kid he raised had already turned into deadly UFC fighter. This guy made a fatal mistake by underestimating this cute robot, because at first, this guy tested its goalkeeping skills with an easy shot, but when he kicked the ball full force on his second try, the robot did this. Everyone was furious at this little guy because during the marathon, he stood in the middle of the track, blocking runners, and even telling some of them to leave in the middle of the race. But what people didn't realize was that he had a very important role in the race, because he was actually part of the event staff, and his role was to spot runners who had snuck into the marathon illegally and weren't official participants. This is exactly why you should never mess with an MMA fighter, because this guy challenged a professional fighter saying, "I'll knock you down easily." But things went a little crazy. Do you think he learned his lesson? This girl made a fatal mistake trying to paralyze his friend with a jiu-jitsu move because he completely missed the pressure point and assumed his friend wouldn't even notice. But little did he know that karma had other plans, because just a few minutes later, his friend came back and executed the move flawlessly. Why is this athlete running while holding his bike? At first glance, it looks like he's trying to cheat his way forward, but that's not what's happening. Because during tough uphill sections, or if their bike breaks mid-race, athletes are actually allowed to pick up their bikes and run, as long as they keep some part of their body in contact the bike. Did John Cena just expose WWE? Because when fans asked him to show the moves he uses on his opponents using a punching bag, he performed them flawlessly. But listen to what he says after the second move.
Haven't hit anybody for real. It's 45 here.
This is exactly why he never brings his mom to his races. Usually at the start of a race, you need complete silence to hear the starting signal. But when his mom came to cheer him on, she got a little too excited and did something that ended up costing him the entire race. Now the question is, would your mom do the same? This little guy is a beast, and he's living proof that the US military trains like absolute beast. But people say other countries are falling behind, because the way this guy trains would break most people in seconds. First, he runs on a treadmill putting full military gear, not for show, but to get used to the real weight he'll carry on missions. Then he picks up a rescue dummy that weighs as much as a full-grown man, but he carries it like it's nothing. And while most people would be done right there, he's just getting warmed up. He jumps straight into brutal calisthenics pull-ups, bar work, push-ups, no rest in between. People online are making fun of him, saying he's doing too much. But Coach Blue knows if he doesn't push his limits now, he won't make it when it matters most. This little boy is about to ride his bike across water, and trust me, it's way harder than it looks. This challenge is called Lake Ride, a yearly event in England where top bikers from around the world come to face this wild course. But most of them never even make it to the finish line. Except Duncan Shaw, he was confident he could win. At the last turn, he nearly fell into the water. However, when the crowd started cheering, this happened.
Do you think he cheated, Daddy?